Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This video onward, we are going to work or we are going to learn about international organizations and group. Okay, so we have so many international organizations like United Nations organizations, Group 7, Group 8, BIMBISTIC, Amnesty International, Shanghai Corporation organizations, Interpol, World Economic Forum, ASEAN, SARC, BRICS. We will learn about these particular organization one by one, and we will develop the fundamentals about these particular organizations, their mission, vision, or their role and responsibilities and everything. Okay, and along with this, we will also take care about the examination points. These organizations, they have a very important roles toward the overall sustainable development of world economies. Okay, that's why they become very important, or like in every examination, examiner they generally ask question based on these organizations. So my only request is, please do like the session and do share with your friends, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. So we will start with one of the largest organization in the world, which is United Nations. So United Nations, if you talk about the United Nations, so the primary agenda is to maintain international peace and security, or to provide humanitarian aids, protect human rights, and support sustainable development and climate actions, to uphold international laws. So for this, to achieve these particular different goals, they have six major organ. I hope you guys heard about United Nations General Assembly or Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trustship Council, International Court of Justice, and United Secretariat. Okay, so these are the six organs which generally belongs to the organization. So here in this particular video, we will decode the United Nations. So please do watch video till the end. Okay. Whenever you talk about United Nations, so their objective is to create peace, to maintain dignity, and to spread equality on a healthy planet. Okay, so if you will visit their website, so you will find this one. Okay, so one place where the world nations can gather together. So basically, it is a platform where like the world economies, like we have 193 member nations who generally belongs to this organization. That's why it is generally known as one of the largest organization in the world. Okay, so basically it is a platform where world countries they gather together, they discuss common problems, and they generally shared the solution for these particular problems. Okay, so it's a kind of a forum where world economies they meet, they fight with the poverty related issues, or the unemployment related issues, the climate change actions, or the terrorism. So there are so many problems which we generally face worldwide. How to overcome with these particular problems, so these are generally discussed in the forum of United Nations. And to solve these particular problems, they have six different organs, those who generally work in different areas as well. So it was created in 1945. Right now we have 193 members of United Nations. So if you talk about the activities, so its activities include maintaining international peace and security, protecting human rights, delivering the humanitarian aid, promoting sustainable development, and upholding international laws. So, like we can say, they work among different parts of the different part of world, and like if any country they are facing any problem, so to resolve these particular problems, or what is the best solution for that particular problem, that is generally provided by United Nations. Okay, it can be in the field of healthcare, education, or the national security, or the dispute among the countries. Okay, so along with their six organs, they have different associate like World Health Organization, World Trade Organization. So they generally help them to achieve their end goals. Okay, so to summarize it, you can say they generally work toward like maintain the international peace and security among nations if there is a dispute between two countries. So there is an interference of the United Nations. Like we have United Nations General Assembly, so they have annual meetings. They generally discuss these particular disputes, and they generally work as a negotiator. So how to overcome with that particular problem, like India Pakistan border problem, India China border problem, or Russia Ukraine border problem, or that particular war problem. So apart from this, they also take care about the other issues. Okay, human right. I hope you heard about the for children, it is UNICEF, or even the other one as well. Okay, so United Nations Human Right Commission. So they generally work. These institutions, they generally work toward the protection of human rights. Humanitarian aid. So they generally provide humanitarian aid. If any, let's recently we Turkey, Syria, they generally face problems, earthquake problem, or even any other natural calamity, or any other problems. Okay, support sustainable development and climate action. So sustainable development goal. I hope you heard about these ones. So there are 17 goals which are generally part of this particular mission. So they are generally provided by United Nations. Uphold international laws. So we have Interpol, or the other institutions as well, who generally work with our United Nations, and they generally help United Nations to achieve their end goals. So these are key areas where basically we can say United Nations work. So it is a basically, you can say, it's a platform where all countries or their representative, they generally get together and they discuss these particular issues, and they generally try to solve these particular problems. If you talk about the headquarter, so it is based in New York, USA. Okay, and they have field offices in different part of the world. Okay, Antonio Guterres, he is the current Secretary General. So if you talk about the post of Secretary General, it is the highest post in United Nations. Okay, and kind of president or chairman. So right now, Antonio Guterres, he joined United Nations, being a Secretary General in on 1st of January 2017. Okay, so he is the ninth Secretary General of United Nations. Um, if you talk about the organ of United Nations, so if United Nations is a body, so these are the major organ of United Nations. To help the end goal of United Nations, there are six major organs of United Nations, those who generally work in different areas, and they have number of associate across the world. As I gave you name of World Health Organization, or UNICEF, or UNHRC, or like WTO and all. Okay, so the General Assembly, who generally they generally conduct meeting on annual basis, or they discuss, or even not only annual basis, like whenever it required, they generally conduct meetings. Okay, so United Nations General Assembly, it was in news, like if you keep an eye this Russia Ukraine war. So many times they conducted their meetings to solve this particular issue. Okay, Security Council, they have Security Council that generally maintain international peace and security. Economic and Social Council, so how to deal with the economic problems or social problems. So they have a separate organ that is known as Economic and Social Council, that also provide the reports about the world economies and all. Trusted Council, then International Court of Justice, where we generally held international cases. Like I hope you remember the case of Kulbhushan Yadav. So even like there are so many, like if there is a dispute between two countries, so that particular dispute is generally the hearing of that particular dispute that generally held in International Court of Justice. Okay, and we have United Nations Secretariat. So all the six organs were established along with the United Nations in 1945, and similar like the date when we founded this particular organization post Second World War. Okay, so if you talk about these six organ, so first one is Security Council. They have number of associate, like International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, and for Rwanda, peacekeeping operation and political mission of United Nations, and we have sanctions committees. So they generally comes under the Security Council. General Assembly, if you talk about the General Assembly, which is also part of United Nations treaty bodies. So if you talk about the United Nations treaty bodies, these are generally part of these three organs, which generally part of United Nations treaty bodies. So General Assembly, which include Human Rights Commission, UPR, or special procedures. We have United Nations Women Council. We have United Nations Development Programs. If you talk about Economic and Social Council, it include Commission on the Status of Women, regional commissions, and these two as well. Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, World Health Organization, which is also part of Economic and Social Council. Secretariat, it is we have General Secretariat and OHCR. International Court of Justice, as I told you, it generally provide hearings for international dispute among different countries or between two countries. And the final one is Trustship Council, okay, which generally like raise funds for to help these remaining five organs or for their functionality. Okay, so we have like United Nations. As I mentioned, this is one of the largest organization in the world. Okay, if you study the different groups and all, and they have maximum like 193 members. They have the maximum count if you talk about the member nations. And to help United Nations or to achieve United Nations goal, they have six organ, and there are number of associates who generally work with United Nations to achieve its end goals. Okay, so do remember these are six names. These are very important for examination purpose, and even their role and responsibilities. Okay, so if you talk about the media development organizations of United Nations, so first one is General Assembly, which include United Nations Development Program, UNDP. I hope you heard about this one. Like this, there are so many reports which are generally presented by United Nations Development Program about world economies, or like if any economy is facing problem. So they generally do research and development, and they provide solutions to these particular countries. Okay, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. So again, like they have like they like so many times you will know about United Nations Environment Program whenever we talk about the climate change or the climate related issues. Okay, UNICEF, United Nations Children's Funds, again they have a very important roles towards the development of children who are facing issues toward their education, health, and all. Then second one is United Security Council, United Nations Security Council. So it include United Nations peacekeeping. So there are so many peacekeeping missions which are generally run by United Nations. So that generally comes under Security Council. United Nations operation in Somalia, which is again part of United Nations Security Council. If you talk about the Secretariat, so Department of Global Communication, Department of Political and Peace Building Affairs, offices of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights and OHCHR, and United Nations Office on Drug and Crimes. So they generally comes under the Secretariat, and they generally work toward the problems related to these particular things. Okay, and final one is Economic and Social Council, which include United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and IPDC, that is International Program for the Development of Communications, then World Bank Group, and World Health Organization. So they generally comes under Economic and Social Council. So media development organizations means they generally work in different areas. They generally provide the ground report, and they generally analyze the problems, and they generally give the solution for these particular problems. Okay, and they have the different parameters, or they have different scales. On the basis of these particular parameters, they generally judge the problems level, and they rank economies as well, how any specific economy is doing, or like what is the level of problem, or like out of 193 countries, which country on top and which country on bottom, and what is the ranking of any specific country. So that is generally provided by these particular organizations. So these are the media handle, or we can say they generally work on research and development for these for United Nations. Okay, so guys, like whenever you talk about United Nations, this is one of the largest organization in the world, who generally have seven organ, and with the help of these particular seven organ, they generally try to achieve their end goals. Okay, so I hope you find this particular video useful. If you like, please do share with your friends, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. So now onward, I'll continue with the series on international groups and organizations, basically non-financial. Financial organization, we already did videos on IMF, World Bank, AIIB, ADB, or NDB, or the other organization as well. So I hope you already watched that particular one. If not, so you can watch that particular video as well. Okay. So if you like this content, please do share with your friends, and do like the video. Okay. So this is it from my side. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.